All right, so I think I'm recording. Let's take a look at these three problems. In each of these, we are evaluating the function at a specific point at some x coordinate. Remember, the function notation is just asking for the corresponding y coordinate. So the graph of this f of x, they want us to evaluate this function at -3. That is, to find the output, to find the y coordinate associated with -3. That means that we simply replace x with -3. This first term is x to the fourth, so now it's -3 to the fourth power. The second term is 3 times x cubed. It's now 3 times -3rd to the third power, minus x squared. But x squared, replace it with -3, and then add 6. So you can see that when the input is a negative value, you do have to be very careful with the signs. So what do we get when we evaluate this function at -3? Well, in the first term, that's 81. And in the second term, that's minus 81. Those two cancel. Then here, we have -3 squared, which is 9. Then we add 6. So if I've done my arithmetic correctly, f evaluated at -3 is equal to 6. So this graph of f passes through the point -3, 6, right? That point is on the graph of this function. But this is what they're asking for, and I'm just giving you an interpretation of what that means. All right. Let's take a look at this next one. So the idea is repetitive. It's the same idea. Here we have some function, and I know a little bit maybe more about this function because I'm familiar with it. With the x squared there, I know that this is a parabola. I know that since 3 is positive, this parabola opens upward, and they're asking me to find the corresponding y coordinate, the output of this function, when x is -2. So I can do that through substitution. This arithmetic, this is the rule of how every x is related to its y value. So we replace this x with -2. We've got 3 times x squared, so we have 3 times -2 squared, minus 12 times x. Well, it's minus 12 times a -2, and then it's plus 4. So f evaluated at -2 is equal to, well, this first term is just 12. And the second term is 24, and then plus 4. So if I'm doing my arithmetic correctly, 12 plus 24 is 36, and 36 plus 4 is 40. I know that if you went to make a table and you plotted points and you connected the dots, the graph would look like a parabola, and it would be passing through the point -2, 40. What about this last one here? What about number 3? Well, we have the idea down. The idea doesn't change. The numbers are changing. The function itself is changing, but the idea of how to get the answer is pretty consistent. We're going to evaluate this function at -3. When x is -3, the output of this function will be the corresponding y coordinate. This graph passes through the point -3, well, let's find what that y value is. Let's replace x with -3. We'll cube it, and then this function always subtracts 5. So f evaluated at -3 is -27 minus 5. F evaluated at -3 is equal to -32. I know if you went to graph this function, that it would pass through the point -3 comma -32 if I've done my arithmetic correctly. All right, so I hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions. Also, let me know if I have made some type of silly arithmetic error so I can edit the video and help others. Talk to you later. Bye.